Hi, this is a video for Babs, Zoe, Gemma, and Emma. I've been meaning to make this video for a while actually, for all of you, because I just wanted to say sorry. I think it's fair to say that my attitude and my behaviour the past year or so has been a bit unusual, for want of a better word. And I just wanted to personally explain to you all the reasons why. And I know you're probably thinking, like, well, why is he telling us this? What's all this about? It's just because I know that you're all very close to Lauren, and I actually still am in love with her. I love her to bits. And because I'm kind of riddled with guilt and shame and anger and frustration at myself, I feel compelled to kind of reach out to the people closest to Lauren, if that makes sense. And it's not an attempt to get your approval for anything or have your blessing like in any way. It is just genuinely just like a heartfelt confession on my part because I wanted to kind of convey what's happened, so that you guys have a clear understanding of who I am, what I've done, and as I said, it might sound weird coming from me to you, but I'm really that sad and upset that just by making this video, it kind of helped me sleep a bit better at night, knowing that I'm at least trying to make some positive steps in correcting some really messy stuff that I've done. So to start with, some of you might know that I have depression. Sorry, I was diagnosed with depression a few years back, and it all stemmed from like a idea in 2011. I wanted to do like an adult themed business, and it was like a website, and it worked. It did really well, and it was a limited company. It was all like above board and legit. But the idea attracted some unwanted attention from like the police, who've kind of been making my life a misery ever since. And during all this time, I stopped being intimate with Lauren, and I kind of lost respect for myself, because of I couldn't be the man that she deserved. And you might have heard that I messaged a few girls a couple of times, and like on Facebook or whatever, and it's absolutely true. I did. I had no intent or desire to do anything. Sometimes it was just like a self-esteem thing. When Lauren would shout at me, and the more she shouted or the more we argued, the more I'd message someone, which completely destroyed the trust I had with the one person on the planet who gave me 1,000,000% of her trust and respect. You know as well as I do that Lauren is like one of the kindest, funniest, most caring, loving, and honest people I've ever met. And so my plan was to fix myself and renew our vows, because I wanted to attend therapy, get a stable job, and I really wanted to salvage our future by just living a normal life. But instead, I completely sabotaged it. Instead, it all happened like at the end of last year. I mentioned to Lauren that I can't stand it in this house anymore. I've got to get out of this house and move to Dubai or something. And I even asked her if she'd come with me, and she understandably said no, not because of the state we're in at the moment. I can't do it. And I wanted to get away not because of Lauren. I just wanted to get away because of what the police had caused, and I was spiraling even more and more into depression, and we were losing our intimacy, and then somehow we gradually, and I mean really, really, really gradually, split up. So gradual, in fact, that I don't even have any recollection of how it even happened. I know that sounds weird, but I don't remember having a conversation saying, "Shall we break up?" It was just so gradual. And it was during this time that I was now really ill. Like, my doctor is now telling me that instead of depression, it's now like bipolar or mania. I wasn't taking my medication. Instead, I was just drinking myself to death. So in December, I packed all my things, moved out, and then flew to Dubai in January for 2 months. And all of this happened so quickly in my head that, and again, it's, I know I don't want to exaggerate because I'm not exaggerating. It is a blur. Like, it was when I was in Dubai when I suddenly broke down. Like, I just woke up. It happened after about 2 weeks of being there. I just had an epiphany. I stopped drinking and just tried to work backwards. I was struggling so hard to remember anything. I couldn't even remember boarding the plane. to get there. It was that scary. I genuinely couldn't remember anything, um, which is the reason why I've kind of got myself into this mess because of things that were out of my control that I couldn't remember. So I'm now in Dubai, and every time I wake up, I burst into tears. I go to get a shower, and I'm crying in the shower. I brush my teeth, I'm crying onto my toothbrush. I get changed, and I'm still crying. I have to go out for a walk. I've got no agenda. I'm just walking aimlessly. I don't know where I'm going, and I'm crying while I'm walking. And then I walk back to my apartment, and I'm crying again. And then I cry myself to sleep at night before I go to bed. After crying into my food that I'm eating, it was that bad. I emailed Lauren. It was like war and peace, just apologising for everything and anything I've ever done. Poured my heart out to her and about how ill I was, and now that I'm fully aware and conscious of it, I emailed her mum, I emailed her sister, and apologised to them all. I even messaged all my friends and apologised about any time my behaviour was out of line or if I was rude. I never intentionally hurt Lauren. I made some very silly decisions that impacted her and kind of bludgeoned our trust. So while I was in Dubai, I thought, right, I'm going to make this my mission, um, to change. And like, it's all very well and good saying you're going to do it, but I thought the first thing I need to do is I've got to come back to England, because I went out there to play music and get away from the police. But I thought, right, I'll come back to England, but before I can do that, I needed to transform myself inside out. So I got something I vowed that I would never have done, which is a tattoo, which is there. It says, just keep breathing. Um, and that was just a reminder for me to, not give up and just to keep fighting for what I believe in. I travelled miles and miles in Dubai to find a book that Lauren once told me about when she was trying to fix us. And I finally found it. It's The Five Love Languages for Men. So I bought this while I was in Dubai, and I think I've read it about 10 times now. And I even went to the extent of getting Lauren's favourite little girl, Audrey. If you don't know who Audrey is, Lauren's a fan of this little girl called Audrey, who's got a facial disability, and I managed to pull a lot of strings and get Audrey to send a personal private message to Lauren. Audrey's quite famous as well. Like, she's danced with Taylor Swift and like loads of other celebrities. I think Katy Perry as well. And I managed to pull some strings and do that just for Lauren. I even wrote a song that Lauren used to sing to me when she wanted some attention. I recorded that in the studio. It costs thousands and thousands of pounds just to get a video made as well, because I'm doing it in honour to Lauren. And I turned it into a song every time she'd poke me and say, "Give me a bit of your time, do that, and I'll be fine," kind of thing. Um, I took up sobriety. I started performing yoga every day. I was like living a life of celibacy also, so I had no interest in any other girl on the planet. I've only got eyes for Lauren. These are the things she needed to hear when I was with her, and I failed her due to neglect on my part, and should have been strong enough and man enough to be able to say those things, and more importantly, kind of live up to those things when she needed someone stronger and dependent. To help me further, I know this might sound daft, but I subscribe to a website called How to Win Your Wife Back. I literally pay £20 a month, and it. By the way, the website isn't like a devious way of scamming her back into my life. It's just tips on how to work on yourself. Like, it tells you to be patient and persistent. Never to give up. Also to change your outlook in life, which can become more attractive to your wife. Maybe a bit more stability. So when I returned to York, Lauren knew all about my intentions. She knew I was coming back, but she'd already made it clear to me that things were a little too raw still. But I stuck to my word and about being a changed man. And ever since I came back to York, I've sent her flowers every couple of weeks, big bouquets of flowers, chocolates, cards, gifts, candles. I even bought tickets to go see Sigma live, because she told me that she really wanted to see him live, so I got tickets. I paid her £7,000 from my inheritance from my granddad passing away, just to help her pay off a credit card. And then one night I just popped round and I said, "Here's an extra £1,000 as well to add to it, just because I'm thinking about you." Um, I know she's seeing someone at the moment, but we are still married, and I wanted to honour our vows and continue to try and not give up, because it feels like the past 7 years of my life were just a waste of time and meaningless if I give up. So I know you all might think that I'm rotten and I don't deserve Lauren, which, to a certain extent I agree with you, but I am only human, and I've made some silly human mistakes, and I heard somewhere that it's not what we've done, but more what we do that kind of defines us as people, and I'd like to think that. So that's it, really. It continues to be my wish, to keep pursuing her, but I know it's not my choice anymore. And at a time when Lauren used to beg me never to leave her, I'm now begging her to take me back. And the only thing I can offer in return is my commitment, stability, trust, respect, and just an abundance of unconditional love forever, But please take this video however you wish. I can only assume that I'm probably not very popular at the moment, but I can assure you, nothing can hurt me any more than I'm already hurting. And it's a pain that kind of follows me everywhere. I don't enjoy eating anymore. I don't enjoy sunny days, not even time with my family, just because I'm empty without Lawrence. Those stimulants like mean nothing. I'm just kind of existing now. And I deserve to feel like this because the way that she felt. And I've got I've got all of our wedding stuff, like the Mr. and Mrs. book. There's a big box with all of our wedding stuff is in this box, and she probably doesn't even know about that because she's just given up already. But I don't expect any sympathy for this. Just your understanding, that's all. So you have a bit more of a clear picture of how things happen and the way that they are, the way they are. But yeah, it's so sad. My dad's taking me out for a meal tonight because it's my birthday on Monday, and sitting next to an empty seat when everyone else are all in couples, I just feel so ashamed of myself. I hate myself so much for what I could have done to fix things, and I'm still trying. I'll still continue to try. But thanks for your time, if you've got this far. And yeah, I wish you all the best and keep looking after Lauren for me if I can't do it. Thanks.